Gregg, just curious what went into the few of the lineup decisions you made. You went with Gyasi, you went with Jackson Ewell, guys that hadn't played a lot for their, since their club season ended, really. So, how did that calculation work? And as a second question, I'm just curious how much pressure you felt personally this week in the lead up to the match.
So with Jackson, he's a player that we think has potential, and we need to see more of him, and we need to expose him to games like this. You really learn a lot about a player when they get to play in environments like this, in games like this. So for him, it was important. We talked, I think, last week about him making a step against Cuba in D.C., and now the next step is to play against a better opponent. And he did that tonight, and I think he did well. He was a guy that was with us last week and training hard, and the work paid off because he looked good tonight. With Gyasi, it was a question of what we thought we needed against Canada to be successful. We thought we needed some of Gyasi's pace and his physicality, and it was a decision based on that. We know Josh is a great player, and together they complement each other really well. But they're different type of strikers, and we felt the decision to go with Gyasi was based on his physicality.
In terms of the pressure?
It is what it is. I mean, I understand that everyone has a job to do, and my job is to coach a national team. And I understand that they're parallel paths, right? There's a path of getting results, and there's a path of developing a really young team. And sometimes, those paths go in different directions, and you don't always get the results, but the development is still there, and the progress with the team, you're still pushing for that. So, it was. I think we all stayed calm in this last 2 weeks and just focus on our jobs.
What did you think that John Brooks gave you tonight in terms of just his leadership, his engagement in the back line? And I was wondering if you could expand a little bit on your midfield choices, not only Jackson, but Sebastian and Wes. What did they give you in this game that maybe you didn't get a month ago?
So with John and Aaron, let's add him to the conversation as well, because I thought they both were outstanding. Canada started playing very direct, and they have a physical striker and they have a mobile striker, and that's always a challenge, especially against two big center backs. You play into the physical striker, the mobile striker runs behind. I thought they did a good job of controlling that. I think they did a good job of controlling transition moments. Aaron is amazing in that. And John did a really good job as well. But the conversation I had with John before the game was, I watch you in Germany all the time, and you're a leader in your group, and let that come out here as well, because it was really important that we take advantage of those qualities that he has. Regarding Weston and Sebastian, Weston is a guy that, on most nights is a starter for us, and he's a guy we need on the field because of his ability. Sebastian is a guy that gives you a little bit more of the game-changing quality that Christian possesses. So, we saw him in training last week, and he was doing really well, and we know his quality, and so we started him.
John Herdman was just in here and said that he thought the difference in the game was that you guys were clinical in the box and they weren't. I'm just curious whether you agree with that. And then 36% possession, that seems very unusual for your team. Was that a result of the early goal, or why was the possession so skewed?
That's a good question. And one thing I said to the team after the game is you have nights where you play absolutely brilliant and everything works, and you're executing everything, you're scoring goals. And then you have days that you don't play great, and things aren't working great, and it's not as fluid as it normally is. And then you have games where you play poorly. But what I said was, in all those cases, you need to show the type of effort and type of tenacity that the group showed today. When we talk about a collective effort, I know there was some real big criticism on the group. It was a perceived lack of effort, a lack of heart. You couldn't mention that today at all. I mean, the way the guys were fighting for each other, the way they had their back, the amount of effort that was put in. I mean, some of these guys haven't played since October 6th, and the way they were fighting in this game and battling in this game. And give Canada credit, they did the same thing. And to me, the difference was, is that we were ready to overcome anything. The guys were focused and ready to overcome. You saw that right from the start of the game. An early goal really helped with that.
How did you feel on an individual level? I mean, 2 goals, it's a great game for you in a game where you guys needed to win.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great opportunity to score 2 goals, but I have to give my teammates credit. You know, they worked extremely hard throughout the whole 90 minutes, and it allowed me to have 2 opportunities to score.
Talk to me about the intensity. That has been a huge theme, not only this week for you guys, but in the whole month building up to this game. You guys look like you had no gas in the tank at the end. You guys gave everything you got.
Yeah, I mean, we wanted to pounce on these guys as soon as the first whistle blew, and it showed with Jordan, amazing goal at the beginning of the game. It set the tone.
Talk to me about that first goal, the emotions going through. I mean, it's everything you're working for an entire week, and those first 15 minutes, you guys get a goal, and then another one, and then the third one piled up on it. Maybe more than ideal?
Yeah, I mean, no, we wanted to score first, obviously, but we didn't want to ease up off the pedal. We wanted to keep going and get Canada facing their own goal, you know, play balls in behind and just get numerous opportunities, goal-scoring opportunities. So I thought we were successful at our task.
I want to ask you a specific tactical question. You that you know Gregg's system so well.
Yeah.
How did you see Jackson today in such an important position within this system?
Yeah, I thought Jackson had a great game. You know, he really switched the field. You know, switching the point of attack was a key element playing against Canada because they like to overload one side. So once we switched it, once Jackson switched it, you know, Des was on to drive with the ball and give us attackers opportunity to score.
So now I'm going to say something that might sound a little bit contradicting. No relaxing in the Cayman Islands.
No, no relaxing. You know, our job is not done yet. So now we'll obviously watch film on this game, but you know we're preparing for Cuba. It's an extremely important game, and we have to finish strong.
Jordan, first just tell us about how important that result was tonight for the team coming off of what happened last month in Toronto.
Yeah, it was good. I think the theme for us this week was playing with more intensity. We knew that last game wasn't good enough in terms of that, and they were winning all the second balls and outworking us, outcompeting us in Toronto. And we knew that had to be different. So I think we came off from the first minute with that mentality, and I think you know we kept it for most of the game.
How did you feel the team handled the week? Facing adversity, still a lot of negativity out there in the week leading up, and also when you're missing some key players in Christian, Michael, Zach Stuffman.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think it's credit to this team when guys aren't here, aren't able to make. Obviously, we wish those guys were here. Such great players, but other guys, you know, come in and step up and do a really good job. And we focus on what we can control in the internal group, and we're all really confident that we're moving in the right direction. And that's all our focus. We try to push the outside noise out and just focus on what we can do to be the best team that we can be. And I thought the effort was really, really good tonight, and I was proud of that.
Your shot in the arm, do you think your goal 2 minutes in was?
Yeah, I think it's big to get an early goal like that. Kind of, you know, takes the pressure off a little bit and opens up the game, because games like this can be a battle, and it was important for us to get the second, third one, fourth one as well. So, yeah, it was great.